So this question we have the integral between -2 and 2 of f of x dx, where f of x actually equals 2 if x is between -2 and 0, but f of x is equal to 4 minus x squared if x is between 0 and +2. So don't forget with integration questions that really finding the integral is finding the area under the curve. So if we were to graph this, we're looking at -2 as an important value, 0 as an important value, and +2 as an important value. So the question is telling us that between -2 and 0, that the function behaves as the line f of x equals 2, which is the same as y equals 2, which means you really have this line here. So from -2 to 0, you have that line. So if we're finding the area under that curve, I can draw a dashed line here down to -2, and this is what I'm actually trying to find, is the area under there between -2 and 0. So you can see that that's basically a square. So the height of that square is 2, the width of that square is 2, so the area of this square is 4. So we would expect to get an area A equals 4 for that. But then the function actually changes up a little bit after we pass 0, because between 0 and 2, the function is a parabola, 4 minus x squared. So if we look at what happens with that, so at, let's say at 2, so when x equals 2, then you have 4 minus 2 squared, which is 0, so we have that value here on our graph. Let's say at 1, when x equals 1, 4 minus 1 squared is 3. So we know that we have y equals 3 when x is 1. So basically, how do we interpret what's going on here? So this is basically -x squared, which means that the parabola is going downward, and it's a +4, which means it's been lifted up. So we have 4, and the parabola is going basically down to 2, like this. Okay. So then we'd be finding the area under this curve as well. So finding the area under that curve is not as easy, so we can definitely use integration. But just wanted to show you that to keep it in mind. So we would be adding the 4 from area 1 to whatever we get for, I'm going to call it area 2. So let's do some integration to actually find the answer to this question. So I want to integrate basically 2 from -2 to 0, so 2 dx. I want to add that to the integral of 4 minus x squared from 0 to 2. So what is the antiderivative of 2? The integral of 2 is 2x. And I'm integrating that again from 0 and -2. And I'm adding that to the integral of 4 minus x squared. The antiderivative of 4 is 4x. The antiderivative of x squared is x cubed over 3. Don't forget that all you do is add 1 to the exponent and divide by your new exponent. So 2 plus 1 is 3. Divide by that 3. That's how we get that. And we're integrating that between 0 and 2. So what do we get? We have 2 times 0 minus 2 times -2. So that's our first part. And we're going to add that to 4 times 2 minus 2 to the third power over 3 minus 4 times 0 minus 0 to the third power over 3. Okay? So 2 times 0 is 0, so we get 2 times -2, which is -4, giving us a +4 here, which is what we expected. Here we get 8. Minus 2 cubed is 8, so minus 8 over 3. Minus 4 times 0 is 0, 0 cubed, this whole thing becomes 0. So really this is all we're left with, and hopefully you can figure out how to simplify this